Strong reaction this morning to the Christopher Columbus statue near Little Italy being pulled down by protesters over the weekend and tossed into the Inner Harbor. This is video of a group of protesters pulling down that statue Saturday and tossing it into the harbor. Some say it was a long time coming, while many in the Italian-American community are very angry. The governor calling it vandalism and completely unacceptable. WMAR 2 News' Aaron McPherson live at Columbus Park off President Street near Little Italy. Good morning, Aaron. What are people saying this morning?
Good morning, Ashley. Well, as you mentioned, there are some mixed emotions from people in this community, which I'll get to in just a second. But first, I want to show you what's left here. Now, this is really just the base of where the Christopher Columbus statue stood. And you can see right at the base where that statue fell, and then down these stairs, you can see as it was being pulled down the stairs where it broke and then drug across the bricks here and through this entire area. It was drug from where it's been standing for the last 36 years all the way down to this channel, which is connected to the Inner Harbor, and that's where then it was thrown into. And some people said the protests actually started off pretty peaceful, and then that's when it took a turn. There was about 300 people marching down President Street on Saturday night, the 4th of July, and then they were locking arms around the statue as a rope was tied around the statue, and then it was pulled down, breaking it into pieces. And that's when the video shows the statue pulled across the ground and thrown into the harbor as people cheered. And here's what people have to say about what happened.
It's been long enough that the state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore have been celebrating someone who does not deserve any bit of celebration. He is a murderer, he is a rapist, he stole our land, he stole our people.
This is a mob. This is terrorism as far as I'm concerned. There's a difference between peaceful protests and the mob mentality.
Now, while many people we spoke to support the statue being gone and not celebrating Columbus Day, others say there were other ways to do it. They could have had the statue removed and put it in a museum rather than torn down. And we've also been told that there has been security in this area for quite some time, and they were here on Saturday night, but the people who were here say that the hundreds of people was just too much for those security guards to handle. Now, police were also called, but they did not intervene. Live in Baltimore, Aaron McPherson, WMAR 2 News.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And that statue is one of 3 monuments to Christopher Columbus in Baltimore City.
There's also one in Druid Hill Park, which I believe is within the construction area inside of Druid Hill Park. There's a big construction going on at the lake there, and so that one is kind of fenced in. There's also a monument on Harford Road in Northeast Baltimore. That monument is the oldest monument to Christopher Columbus anywhere in the entire United States of America. It's been right there, Herring Run Park, since 1792. Now, Baltimore City Councilman Ryan Dorsey has proposed a bill which would rename this monument to honor victims of police violence. The West Wednesday group, which has been protesting the death of Tyrone West in police custody every Wednesday now for nearly 7 years, held its weekly protest last week at that monument in Northeast Baltimore.